And go. And hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 313. It's like half the 616.
H-O-T-T-O-G-O.
Hi, that's EvilJeff singing
Hi.
Chapel Roan. I am Brett. Do you want to hear a funny version of Hot to Go that I just heard?
Yes.
Okay. I might have said this already on the show. L-E-T-S-A-G-O. It's me, Mario.
If I had told you that drag name, someone has a drag name called Marissa Me Mario.
Marissa. Oh.
Marissa Me Mario.
Marissa Me Mario. That's my sister's name.
And I thought of speaking of something we're going to be doing, I thought of a great drag name.
Oh, what?
Gagatha Harkness.
Oh.
I'm Gagatha.
You should
or
go
Gagatha
as Gagatha
Christie.
Harkness. This spooky season, find an event, find a Halloween event where you go as Gagatha Harkness.
I know. Should we? I mean, I'm feeling very bittersweet because I'm going to be talking. I watch the Screams every Halloween.
Yeah, okay.
And I feel a little bittersweet because I don't know how I feel about this new Scream with all the shit that went down.
Is that even coming out still? Let's. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Comic Book Queers. We are approaching spooky season, so we're going to talk about the Scream franchise. Are we going to watch this new one? Because I don't think I can with like the Sydney instead of the new girl and the.
This is what I feel like. I'm not going to watch it, but then I have a feeling I'm going to see a trailer and then I'm going to be like, fuck, I want to watch it.
But who's the guy that did Ready or Not, my favorite movie?
I forget his name.
It was supposed to be him, right? And then
but
he
dropped out. He dropped out. So that's the thing is it could be. And it's politically, I don't know if I should be allowed to watch it because of everything that went down. So
like justice for Melissa Barrera.
Yeah, that was all really fucked up. Anyway, but then again, spooky. I'm ready for spooky stuff.
Are you
ready
over summer?
For spooky.
Because everyone says summer's over.
It's Labor Day.
Weeks.
So, but Labor Day, everyone considers Labor Day the end of summer, even though the end of summer is technically September 21st. But what is this now? Virgo era? This is Virgos, right?
I think this is Virgos. Yeah,
Virgos are
it
crazy.
is because I just saw Bo DeMeo tweeted something about Virgos when he had no shirt on.
Girl,
I didn't mean
Bo
to bring that
DeMeo.
up. We're talking about Scream. I don't think it was supposed to be the guys that did Ready or Not this time. I think it was supposed to be the guy that did the other fun stuff, like Freaky.
Yeah.
Who's that? Langdon something?
Oh, right. Freaky, though, that's a comedy more than... But here, hold on real quick, because we got into talking about our hot topics and what we were like without doing the... And actually,
how dare we?
We need to talk about something because we were talking about Scream, and that actually like feeds into what I was going to talk about. I said we were going to do something else first, but we're going to do this first because it just happened to talk about it.
Okay,
I went to a 90s theme party on Saturday.
Okay, fun.
And everyone was like, dress up like 90s. And I was like,
okay.
What does that mean? And they were like, you can dress up like a character from the 90s or a pop star from the 90s, or you can dress up just like 90s clothes. And pretty much 98% of the people dressed up in 90s clothing. A lot of flannels, a lot of brightly colored shows, a lot of brown lipstick, a lot of smoky eyes, a lot of chokers. Mostly a lot of flannels wrapped around your waist and some overalls, that kind of stuff. I, however, chose to go as a character. And
you were Drew Barrymore from Scream.
and I was Drew Barrymore from Scream, and I won.
Wow.
They gave out
What did you win?
it was my friend's 11th wedding anniversary. They gave out prizes, and I won Best Dressed.
Oh my God.
And I won a Goofy Movie T-shirt and backpack.
You won a Goofy Movie T-shirt?
Yes.
Lucky.
Anyway, yes. So luckily, because I did Drag Me to the Movies, I already had the costume.
Oh, you had the outfit.
And the outfit. And so, yeah. And I just literally walked around making that face. When people were like, one person at first thought I was Martha Stewart.
Oh God.
But yeah, I was very proud of myself. I was very proud of myself.
Martha Stewart. You look great.
At the end, when I was leaving, I was just like, oh my God, my boyfriend wants me to go back. My parents aren't home. My boyfriend wants to go watch movies and eat some popcorn. So I'm going to go. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
He's really big and he plays football. And
yeah.
He'll kick
Oh,
your
that's what I did.
ass.
When I won, I said that line when I grabbed the microphone. I was like, yeah, and said that line.
You were hysterical.
Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then circling back, I'm sorry, to the new Scream. It's not the Ready or Not people.
Oh, whoops.
It is Christopher Landon who did Happy Death Day.
Right, which is also a comedy, not a horror.
So
I mean, so that
also,
that doesn't bode well for, not bode well, but I have no semblance of, can you do scary slasher? Because I think Happy Death Day is so leaning into the comedy that it is not, when it was just the killer stalking parts, that part it wasn't that scary.
it was marketed as like slasher, and then you watched it, you're like, what is this? This is a fun
0%
time travel
scary.
romp.
Yeah, which I love those movies, but it's not
I love
scary.
Happy Death Day. It's like one of my faves.
Gay.
You are gay. But listen, if we were going to follow the pattern that the new Screams were following, hear me out, because they did just Scream, remember? And then they did this latest one, which was very Scream 2-ish. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but a lot of parallels with Scream 2. This next one should have been funny because Scream 3 was funny. So this should have leaned into the Christopher Landon type horror comedy. Alas, he walked. Maybe they should get you. You look like Drew Barrymore.
I don't want to touch this franchise with a 10-foot pole now. Anyway, but I love it. I'm so conflicted. I'm so conflicted. One of the girls at the party came up to me and she was like, my daughter turned 16 and I decided to show her Scream for the first time and she loved it. I was like, oh. And the girl was younger than me. And that made me feel really depressed.
Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, I love how I was talking to someone and I was like, do you know if I had a kid at the age of 21 that they would be 20? And they're like, no, girl, they would be 30. And I was like...
Yeah, but having a kid at 21 is like, you're a baby. You can't be like, that's like normal parenting age. If you had a kid, you would have had a kid at 30.
No, but it is now when I see, it's why I can't, I think I have my new reason of who I can sleep with, the age range I can sleep with. And it's if you're old enough for me to legitimately be my child, I don't think I can do it.
Right, then we cannot.
So for me, the age is going to keep on increasing.
Yeah. If we were on a long-running TV show together, and at the beginning of that run, you were a child, but now you're older, I can't sleep
I'm not
with you.
going to make out with you in an alternate timeline.
Like Umbrella Academy.
But you know what? Speaking of these hot topics, there is a hot topic. There is a coming up in just a couple of weeks.
The 18th of September, 2 weeks.
My friend is having a huge premiere party for it.
Is?
So I'm excited. Yeah, the person who threw the 90s.
The Scream Party, as it will since be called. Are we talking about Fagatha All Along? Fagatha Fall.
Gagatha All Along.
Drag name. Gagatha All Along. Fagatha Fall Falong.
Yes, we are going to. I've only watched a few snippets on TikTok, so I have not seen this whole thing.
Oh, this is the big one, girl. This is the one
so
where I said,
here we are. We're gonna watch
new trailer.
Agatha All Along.
We're going to watch a new trailer right now.
Here we go.
Settle in.
Agatha. Confession, I know
Teen.
an egregious amount about you.
Billy
Been obsessed since I first read up on your Salem days.
is called Teen.
It's so weird hearing him talk in an American accent.
Yeah. So Billy saved Agatha from the spell,
You're the
from
only
Wanda's
witch
spell.
that's ever survived the Witch's Road.
Sorry,
Who
Teen.
are you?
I'm
Okay, that's the
Interesting.
fucking coolest thing I've ever seen.
It has to be
We need
Billy. It
assemble a
has to
coven
be
walk the
Billy.
road to get our
I'll go a
powers
step
back.
further.
the road will
But
give
let's
you the
watch.
thing you want the most if you make it to the end.
So this is going to be very like each witch is going to have her trial. You know, like there's Patty LuPone will have her trial,
And is each trial like a different TV show?
a different
Is it-
episode, or a different.
Yeah, it's like
a
one is
different
like
TV
Wizard
show,
of
like
Oz.
Game
I
of
feel it's like
Thrones.
different versions of witch
Yes,
shows maybe.
Yes.
We'll be safe as kittens.
Like Sashir, she looks very discoed up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
She looks
each
very 70s.
I think each task
Each trial,
we've
each
already
tribulation, each
seen that.
witches.
Stop it.
You know what this reminds me of? EvilJeff?
What?
Our favorite single issue of comics ever, like the Uncanny X-Men 11, where the X-Men fought...
The annual.
Where the X-Men fought Horde, and like each one was like, oh, it's my scenario for like
We
what I want the most
we
in
reviewed
life.
that. We reviewed that in this show in episode 72.
During the
That's probably
pandemic.
wrong, but it was probably in the pre 100s that we reviewed.
It was one of
that.
those pandemic filler episodes.
I
my girl.
reread that a couple months ago.
It is
just
the
because.
best comic book ever. We're
Well,
talking,
I'm
of
going
course,
to tell
about
you right
Uncanny
now,
X-Men
I
Annual 11.
love And Then There Were None,
Oh, same.
where one by one the team is going down. There was an old cartoon called Dungeons and Dragons, Saturday morning
Fave.
cartoon. And my
Fave.
favorite episode of that is they were on a trial and one by one, each of them had to be like, no, I'll fight these things. You go along. And it kept
Yep.
on going.
Because they were uniquely equipped to fight the thing.
Yeah. And I love that shit. I love that shit.
Yo, there's also, and I've talked about this before, Spider-Man and his amazing friends, the original 7 Little Superheroes, where Shanna the She-Devil and Captain America and Submariner and Doctor Strange all get picked off one by one in a weird house.
Yes. I fucking
Now let's
Love
go
it.
back to that trailer.
Oh, okay.
When Teen, played by Joe Locke, tries to say his name to Agatha,
Yeah.
a shape forms over his mouth and muddies what he is saying. It obscures
Did you
his
look
name.
at what the
What goes over his mouth?
yeah, it just
Did
looked like
you?
it was it looked
I
like
did.
cursive, but I couldn't read
yeah.
it.
Oh,
Wait,
I did.
hold on. I'm gonna just like,
You cut me out of the shot, you bitch.
oh, hold on. Let me get to
Oh
the
my
part.
God, welcome to the new show.
Hi,
It's
everybody.
EvilJeff only.
Hello. Now, okay, sorry. We needed to have some glamour in this show right now. And so, we only have room for, there's only so much glamour we can have. Did you see I have Gem?
Oh, I think you have a history with that character.
I do.
Hey, everybody,
It's me.
I have Emma.
All right. What is that? Is that an M? Like
Oh,
House
is
of
it?
M?
Oh, is it an M?
What is, or is it a Wanda, an upside down W?
Is it an M? It feels like it's an M, but it also looks like it's making a Fisto shape. I kid, of course, because I think it's an M for Mephisto.
For Mephisto.
bitch.
Or it could be, or what if the thing is that you think it's an M for Mephisto, but it's actually an upside down W for Wanda.
For Wanda, they might do that shit. I'm calling Mephisto because I think, with him being an Ironheart, with him already cast, or casted, as people on the internet like to say, I feel that we're leading up to Mephisto. Plus, Wanda's kids, their souls, Mephisto, that whole thing.
Yeah.
In the comics.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for
I'm
Billy.
so excited. I'm so scared.
More 90s references.
90s.
90s.
All right, can I remove this now? Do we
Yeah, let's
still
get
need
outta
to
here.
Look at that. Okay. I
look at Joe Locke anymore.
Love it. And speaking of,
I-
Heartstopper is coming out.
Heartstopper's coming out, and I hear there's a hardcore fucking scene.
hardcore, like full
hardcore.
on, like you see penetration,
Like you see penetration. Yeah.
just full on.
Yeah. But Kit Connor
I'm
had
here
a
for
dick
it.
double.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Kit
do
Connor's
we-
on Broadway here. He's in Romeo and Juliet.
We are going to be talking about, we're doing what we're watching last, or should we do
I
it
have
now?
it later. Is that okay?
Should we do it now?
Flip it.
And
To
end
flip to
with-
it. Let's do TV.
Okay. Speaking of that, speaking of hardcore penetration,
Oh.
we need to talk about a BL that I saw. And my whole life now is convincing Brett to watch another Thai BL. Because I
God.
got him to watch Kin Porsche, and I can't get him to watch another one. And I think this one might be
You
it.
can't get me to finish another one.
I know. Okay, here we go. Hold on a second. This is where we're gonna start.
What you watching? Is it me naked? No? Oh, fine.
What you watching?
Well, the only one that you watched through the whole way through was
Kin Porsche, best show ever.
And this is the same company that made Kin Porsche.
So is this also found on IQ.com?
No.
Oh.
No. This one is only showing on their TV show, and then it just went on another site called Gaga Ooh La La.
Okay.
For those that are not aware, Gaga Ooh La La is a gay streaming site, and it's not just Asia, it's everywhere. And they also will have full on, like there'd be like some German short, and I was like, oh, those guys are hot. Let me watch this. Oh, this is full on porn. Okay.
Oh.
So
Artsy.
they are basically the stuff that's too dirty to go on a streaming site.
Okay.
They put on
Gaga Ooh La
And-
La.
Yes, and this show is upping the sex scenes from Kin Porsche.
Because Kin Porsche had some jacuzzi anal.
Yeah, this is it's upping the scenes.
Wow.
And it stars Bible,
Vegas?
Vegas.
Was he Vegas in Kin
Yes.
Porsche?
Yes. It
Oh,
was
good
supposed
God.
to star his scene, the person he was torturing in Kin
His
Porsche.
sub.
But he ended up quitting acting because I don't know if you heard about it, but the girls that wrote Kin Porsche, one of them fell in love with Bild, the actor who played the sub in that relationship.
Really?
And then he was like, I don't want to be with you. And so she made fake abuse allegations against him.
Oh, no.
And then his whole career was canceled, but then he sued, and then he released the text messages where she admitted that she was like, I'm going to tell everyone that you beat me up if you don't sleep with me.
Wow.
And so then he was vindicated, and then she got sued, and then she was taken off the company.
Oh, my God.
But then he was like, I don't want to act anymore. I'm leaving the industry. It's too fucked up. And they had already started like working on this project. So Bible was given a new partner, and it's all for the better because this guy is so much hotter. No offense. But let me just show you. The show is called 4
There
Minutes.
he is.
4 minutes. It's a supernatural time travel gay action movie.
Wait a minute. We're going to be talking about other time traveling gay action adventurers later in the show.
Yes. This one, it's a spoiled rich Bible here. His name is Bible. The other guy's name is Jess in real life. But their names, get this, their names in the Thai, because you know Thai shows have crazy names.
Yeah.
His name is Great.
Great.
Yeah, like they're great. And then his scene partner is named Time. Great
and
Time. Great
And
and
they're time
Time.
travelers.
Well, only one.
Great Time.
So it turns out, so basically the one Great plays a spoiled rich kid. So he's a spoiled rich kid. And here, let me just show you. I mean, look how hot they are.
So
Come
hot.
on.
They're
Come
steamy.
on.
They're steamy men.
Yes. So Great's character, he plays a spoiled son of like a super rich family, and his brother is also gay, and I will be showing him next. His brother was one of the bodyguards in Kin Porsche. I don't know if you remember the scene where they all got drunk and one of the bodyguards took his shirt off and started pouring water.
100% remember that scene.
Well, it's him, and
It's
we see
him?
him full naked.
Oh my God. Gaga ooh la la. Here I
So
come.
anyway, okay, so he's a spoiled rich kid. He's finishing up college, so that he can then work at his dad's company. The brother is older, and he is now being given the keys to his dad's company, being like, "Oh, now you can like understand the real company. Oh yeah, here's the outside of the company, but the real company is like an illegal online gambling business." So
Okay.
there's like, so
The
a
real
lot of this
business.
has to do with like kidnapping, murder, blackmail, mafia stuff.
Very
So
Ken
it's like
Porsche.
so the company is very like underground, that stuff. But this character is still in college, so he's still innocent. He basically is driving to school. He's late for an exam, and then a woman jumps out in front of the car, and
Not
he
a
hits
woman.
her,
Okay.
and he hits her and kills her.
Oh God.
But she literally like jumps out to get hit by the car, like committing suicide. And he has such a panic attack. He starts having a heart attack, and then as he's having a heart attack, he goes back in time 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Oh,
4
that's
minutes.
the title of the show.
And so basically what ends up happening is he can't control when it happens, but he can go back in time 4 minutes. And then he's like, oh, let me stop this horrible. It's timed where whenever something crazy happens and it makes him almost have a heart attack, his heart starts pounding hard, and then he can go back in time. Anyway, he gets injured in the car accident, and then he's the doctor. The other guy is a doctor.
Oh, he's a doctor. He looks like that, and he's a doctor to boot.
But there are way more
Husband
twists.
material.
There's way more twists and turns. The doctor also has
Don't tell.
nefarious things going on. Like there's twists and turns, and then
Oh.
like I mean, this
so
is
for those of
them.
you watching the audio version, listening to
is
the audio
them,
version,
yeah.
we have some shirtless shots of these two actors in the show, and
I'm only about 3 episodes in. They have not had sex yet. Oh, but here's the thing: not only can he see the 4 minutes, go back in time 4 minutes, but whenever he meets this doctor, he gets flashes of them having sex.
oh
and he
wow,
doesn't know
like
why.
flash forwards.
But they immediately, the thing I also like is both of them, it's the Gen Z world. The Gen Z world is everyone's bisexual.
yeah,
And
but nobody has
that's what,
sex.
oh, well, okay, this is not that then. But the thing that I love about Gen Z is that it's kind of like everyone is expected to be, the base is now bisexual. You can fuck whatever you want. And then if you want to choose, I'm just going to stick to the guys. I'm just going to stick to the girls. No, I'm going to do both. I'm going to do whatever. That's all up to you. And I think that's what I love about Thai BLs is that's the world they live in.
Yeah,
They don't talk about, wait, you're a guy. Am
Yeah,
I
same
gay? That's
Right.
what they always talk about in these fucking American fucking
Same-sex
things.
relationships
Like
are not-
Heartstopper. Am I
Right.
gay?
oh my God,
You know,
Ah!
it's like as soon as the doctor sees him, he's like, you're fucking hot. And then they start kind of going, they both are just like very, very into each other. And then the other thing I just want to talk about is his brother. This is Bass, who had played that bodyguard. He's the brother.
Yeah.
He is having sex with this other hot guy.
Wait, I
and
know
here
his
I'm
character.
going
Oh,
to-
Jesus Christ.
I'm going-
First of all, I know his character's name is not Korn with a K, like the band. Like All Day I Dream About
Yes,
Sex.
his name is Korn. Korn is a super popular name in Korea
Really?
with a K, and I've seen about 4 different BLs where someone's named Korn. Con?
Did you like the band Korn?
No,
Me neither.
no, that was straight people like that.
That's straight.
That's for the straights. But as you can see here,
Ooh.
and his boyfriend, but because he's taking over the company, he can't tell his dad that he has a boyfriend. So I guess there is a little bit of confliction about being gay.
Yeah.
But the boyfriend, every time they have sex, he's like, I just started prep, fuck me raw.
Oh.
And then he's
4
like, no,
minutes.
I'm going to use a condom. So then there's also like,
Condom drama.
Everyone's being responsible. Oh. But anyway, it's messy. It's dirty. There's cheating. There's
love this.
Each episode, there's attempted murder. There's
I love
fights.
this.
There's sex. And there's butts. You see full-on hot boy butts every episode.
That's honestly I'm not getting enough in TV and movies. That's what I'm not getting enough of. Bugs.
And I'm going to tell you this. The other reason why I like this is a full-on supernatural thriller.
Yeah.
But there is also an entire love story in it.
Yes.
And most American or even European shows, you're either romance or you're a thriller or you're supernatural. You do not do both things. And I love that they're like, no, we're also going to do the fucking romance in this too. So there's like sweet moments where they're hitting on each other and falling in love, but then someone's getting kidnapped.
This one might be the next one to get me.
This and the actor, if you don't follow, you follow him on Instagram, right? Bible.
I think I do.
His name
actually.
is Bible.
He's
so gorgeous.
It would be nice to see him playing kind of a sweeter,
gorgeous.
more protagonist-y character, because his character in Kin Porsche is
he
vile.
literally was like tying up and kidnapping and torturing his romantic scene partner, which, I was totally against, and that didn't turn me on at all.
Right. I still hold that that's vile.
The thing that's interesting is this character, because he's a spoiled rich kid, like the first time he hits her, when he hits the guard, he just drives off and then starts having a panic attack and then goes back in time. And then he's confused as he's driving, and he starts slowing down, and he slows down enough so that when he hits her, he still hits her because she jumps out, but she's only like slightly injured. And then he like goes and helps her and calls the police. So he's like kind of doing bad things and then realizing how I have to do the good thing.
I love this. I'm in. Let me ask you a question. If you had the power to go back 4 minutes.
This is also, isn't that the same pair from the guy from Extraordinary, the TV show Extraordinary?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that his?
Yeah.
If I had the power to go back 4 minutes.
Like, would you, but you could only use it in one type of situation, one type of category of situation. You could only use it for for sex, or in the case of social faux pas, or to avert real tragedy that happens to other people, or
who cares
physical
about that?
injury. Which of those would you use it for?
Well, I mean, I would clearly. Oh, wait. So I would use it if I'm going to be hurt or die, or someone else is going to be hurt or die.
Physical injury.
But if I can use it anytime I want, I would also like, wow, I just bombed that stand-up set. Let's rewind 4 minutes and let's try a different avenue. Let's try to do something different.
What if you were like, oh my God, that was the hottest orgasm I've ever had. Let's go back and do it again and again and again and again and again and again.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, hold on. But when you go back, it depends on like, because after you come, you're kind of like satisfied. When you go back, are you back to the fully erect and haven't come yet?
Like, does your refractory period reset?
Yeah, because if you go back and then it hasn't reset, then you're like, oh, sorry.
Like, oh, wait, stop. And then he's like, yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, there is also a character has sex with a cop. There's a scene where this cop is like trying to solve a murder, and then he keeps like coming and helping him. He's like, I'm gonna solve it. He's like, why are you so gung-ho on solving this murder? Do you like me? Do you want to fuck me? And the cop's like, yeah. And they have sex. And at the end of the sex scene, you see a squirt.
Oh.
Like you see jizz on his chest.
Oh my God, just like you.
Yes. It also is awkward because I watch BLs now with my brother-in-law who's staying with us.
Yeah.
And this one, he's like, this is too. I was like, okay, this is awkward.
Yeah, you're like, so
this is a little too much. You have to go away because I'm going to stop watching it. So 4 minutes. It's on Gaga Ooh La La. I highly recommend it. I highly, highly recommend it.
Amazing.
Should we talk about X-Men?
X-Men. Let's do it.
It's mutants with powers, Omega for hours. Bitch, let's read some X-Men.
We have a lot of X-Men to talk about.
Yes. So
let's start with X-Men, the book, number 3.
Yes.
EvilJeff, this is Jed McKay's X-Men, Cyclops' team. We've been a little about it, to put it mildly.
And I feel this one, they're finally like digging into Cyclops' motivations and point of view. And I think this is where it finally starts to like click, you know?
It's finally starting to click. I think they dove into Cyclops a little bit more, peeled back a few layers of what's going on there. And then they also dove into Edie, into Temper a little bit more.
Yeah.
Kind of established like her character point of view, where she's at now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the book opens with one of my favorite characters, who I swear to God, is this character dead or not? The Vanisher.
I know. Wasn't he murdered in the last thing that we saw?
Yeah. And like, I don't think the Vanisher is being brought up to the resurrection queue.
Well,
when
I guess
that was
he
a thing.
was.
Anyway, Vanisher's here. He's teleported in some goons. And they want to lay waste to the factory, to the new headquarters.
Yeah. And but then it was like the Vanisher, weren't they like, oh, we're gonna get you what you want or something? Like is he just doing it for money?
Probably.
And then he meets with the guy. It's Lundquist. Have we seen him before?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
So Lundquist seems to be like basically Orcus is gone, but the American government still does not like mutants. And we learn that Cyclops, after the whole trial and all of that stuff, he basically was like, I'm going to sue America. And so they're like, what do you want? So that we don't, because we fucked up. What do you want? And he's like, I want that factory. And they're like, okay. So he's like, you gave me that factory and you have your own little X Factor. And he also threw a lot of shade at his brother because he's like,
threw a lot of shade. I mean, he straight up said he is garbage.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's led by my brother who's a fucking idiot piece of shit.
He said, my brother has never been able to operate on my level. And I was like, you know what? Where's the lie?
True. Anyway, so he's at a diner just talking with Lundquist. So they're at a diner talking, and it's all like philosophy talk, like what is Scott's philosophy? What is America's view of mutants right now? But while all this is happening, Lundquist's team is like in disguise. They have psychic shielding and tech shielding. And they're starting to like go and they knock out Beast, and they're going for Cerebro.
They're going for Cerebro.
And I think they just want to take down Cerebro, so there's no Cerebro, so they can't find new mutants.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like what they said when they realized what the plan was. They being the X-Men that are back at the factory, you know, your Psylocke, your Magic. When they're like, they want to keep us divided. They want to keep us separated. You know, they don't want us to unify again. So they're going to take down Cerebro. I want to point out that the Lundquist's people are the Office of National Emergency, the one squad that we've seen before.
Yeah.
They're bad guys. They're bad government people.
Yeah, they were there, and then Orcus kind of took center stage, and now that Orcus is gone, they're kind of back. They're kind of back. But that's like, there's the one, but then there's also the fifth element. No, what is it called?
I'll never remember.
What is that other one called?
The fourth world?
The fourth world, the fifth element, Sixth Sense.
Yeah, there we go.
Seven, starring Brad Pitt.
Heaven. 8 is enough.
I don't, but anyway, I think my problem with this book before is I thought it was going to be save a mutant of the week and adding a new mutant every issue. And I'm glad it is not.
Yeah,
that.
Me too.
Another book is kind of being like that, but I feel that one can be like that. X-Force.
Yes.
So I'm glad that this is now kind of like, I feel like I'm very interested to see what Extreme X-Men is going to be, because I feel like this book, I think this book is this book, X-Men is like, this is the new philosophy of where the X-Men fit, of like what the X-Men is. I think X Factor is showing you what does the world think of the X-Men. And then I think Uncanny is just Gail Simone doing cool stuff. They mention Uncanny. They mention things that have not happened yet because they're like, see issue 2. And I'm like, that hasn't come out yet, bitch. Where he's fighting with Rogue.
Yes. He's like, Rogue, no, don't go. Oh, she hung up.
So apparently, because he said that Rogue, Wolverine, Logan, and Jubilee have the four new mutants that popped out of the woods, and they're all going to Xavier's mansion. Isn't that what he said? Is that where they said they were going?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. And Cyclops throws shade at them too. Basically being like, yeah, the 4 people that fucking won't listen to fucking anybody.
I feel bad for Cyclops because here he is trying to do his thing, and then you've got like the 4 most prominent X-Men over in the other book being like, we don't care about that anymore.
And not only that, he's like, I can do whatever I want. I have Phoenix. And she's like, I'm going to go to space.
Meanwhile, Storm is like, oh no, I'm on the Avengers.
I'm going to go on the Avengers. I think he's kind of like, because the one thing that I kind of want is he's acting like, I'm the only one who knows what's going on. But everyone's kind of like, yeah, we're kind of over you.
We're kind of over you.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's hilarious.
He's doing the same old thing, and everyone's like, we're kind of past that now.
But at the same time, I don't feel he's doing anything wrong.
No, but he's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah. I think he's actually like, I think the thing is, I think he's trying to be like, no, the X-Men need to be respected. And we need to make mutants together. He's trying to go to the original Xavier dream and try to show, hey, we're mutants. We're not to be fucked with, but also we can get along with humans. And I think everybody else is like, we're over this. We tried it and it's not going to fucking work.
I think he's just ultimately trying to keep mutants safe. And it's like he's doing it on like a political level, on a scale. Like he's trying to work with the world to make sure that the world doesn't persecute mutants anymore. Rogue is there like on the streets, and she's doing it on a more individual basis of like finding a soul and taking care of them.
Well, she's more like, I want to make sure all my people are safe.
Yeah.
I don't care about the political ramifications and all that other stuff.
Right. But you have to care about the political. Like, that's like Rogue being like, I'm not that into politics, y'all. Well, politics is into you, Rogue.
Well, but that's the thing is she's a Democrat. She's a liberal from the South. She's like, but when I go home to my family,
Democrat.
Because Mystique voted for Trump.
Oh God, she didn't.
Because she wanted chaos. She wanted chaos. Oh yes, she did. She wanted
for Jill
chaos.
Stein.
No, you're right. She told. Yeah.
She voted for Russian operative
wait a
Jill
minute.
Stein.
Mystique is Jill Stein. Notice how she only she only shows up every election cycle. Jill Stein is Mystique.
The whole Jill Stein thing is, who the fuck is this woman? Like, she just shows up like every presidential election. It's like, I'm going to run for president. I'm Dr. Jill. Who the fuck are you?
I do feel it's like her and Tulsi Gabbard are like these sleeper agents.
Both Russian operatives.
Yeah, because it's also because I am all for creating a third party, so it is not stupid Democrats and stupid Republicans.
It's not third party.
But you don't get a third party by running for president. You get the third party at the lower levels and build it up.
And like, what do you?
And no one is trying to do any of that. Anyway, but there's my
I digress.
Anyway,
Mystique is Jill Stein.
Yeah, sorry. So if any listeners love Jill Stein, she's Mystique, and you've been duped. Anyway, this book is fun. I still am not sure what they want to. I feel like Benjamin Liu, like they want to do something with him.
Yeah,
is that his name? Benjamin Liu? Is it Benjamin?
The reality warper that they
the
got
reality
last
warper.
Issue? Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of are. They just holding him to keep the world safer? I feel like they have a plan for him.
Well, I mean, they're holding him to keep him safe. You know.
Yeah.
I liked when Magic was able to see people's souls.
Oh yeah, because
they had no tech.
They had no tech that could.
Yep.
Yeah. That I did like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. This also felt like everyone was kind of. Oh, and then let's talk about Temper. basically was like, I never
Timber
liked
and Magneto.
Krakoa because she was like yelling at Magneto. She's like, you fucking put me in the pit. So I hated Krakoa. Krakoa's fucking stupid. And she's like, especially because I killed someone and you, Magneto, put me in the fucking pit.
Correct. She's like, I'm the only one that doesn't miss Krakoa because I was in the fucking hole. Krakoa was a hole.
Yeah. So was I.
I know, right? In my 20s.
Well, oh, girl. Girl, you never stopped.
Can we talk about last night? Can we not go back to the Eagle anymore? Also, can Cyclops go 5 minutes without being like, I'm going to call my wife?
I mean, you know what? If I was being bullied and I had like an older sister who could beat the shit out of everybody, I would be calling that card in.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
if I was being bullied and I had an older sister who could erase your existence.
Yeah, exactly. I would
history.
totally be throwing that around. It's like, but she's not here, is she? She's out doing the universe in a bad plot line that I don't like.
Is your Omega level wife in the room with us right now, Scott?
I know. But it's just funny where I think that's the thing too about we've talked about this before, that Cyclops, the fact that he only dates psychics proves to the level of just like how, I don't want to say pure, but just how one direction his thoughts are. It's just like the good. I'm here for the good. The good. The good. He's never thinking, what if I do this or what if I do that? It's all just so.
It's linear and it's very like, I hope I'm not misrepresenting the condition, but that feels like that Cyclops is somewhat on the spectrum. And I do think that Cyclops should be written as somewhat on the spectrum.
Well, you know what? One of the symptoms is a difficulty to look people in the eyes, and no one can tell if he's looking you in the eyes.
I would like an autistic Scott Summers. I would like that.
I would like someone to come, because I'm sure there's always characters that are, I think a lot of times people do autistic characters as like void or like non-neurotypical characters as like void of emotions.
Yes. Which is not the case.
No. Well, I mean, there's just such a various realm of like what someone with autism can present as.
Yes.
But I think there's characters that I think we could probably go through a list of X-Men and be like, these are the ones that probably are on the spectrum. But I would like it if one actually came out as being
as neurodivergent.
Yes, that's the word.
I would love that, and I would like for it to be Scott Summers.
Yes. Oh, that would be fascinating.
Well, speaking of Scott Summers, and
are we moving on to the next book?
Well, no, somewhat related.
Oh, okay.
His mental health.
Oh my God! We're not even talking about the end of it. The end of it, girl, me. This is me.
Me.
He is fucking. He deals with Lundquist. They win the day, and then he goes into the bathroom and has a full-on panic attack.
He says, "Come on, lead, damn it, lead."
He's losing it.
I stepped into the mishap of being important at work for a little while, for a few years there, and even at that small organization, the pressure of having to be the example and having to make the decisions, it's a fucking lot.
Oh yeah. I show ran a show and then and I was like, I'm a fraud.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. But here's the thing is I think I finally realized everybody thinks that.
Yeah.
And when you're like, I'm faking it that I know what I'm doing. And you're like, everybody is. And I think when I realized I'm not the only one doing that I finally started to
when I became a
lower the
creative
anxiety
director,
levels for myself.
When I became a creative director, it was like midway through my career.
But Cyclops is doing this now.
When I became a creative director, it was like midway through my career and I switched to the creative side. I was so overcome with imposter syndrome until some other creative director who'd been doing it for a few years at a bar turns to me and goes, none of us know what we're doing, right? And I was like, oh, thank God. Changed my world.
That's why when you realize most of the world is led by people with bravado.
Yeah.
And what is that? The Kruger-Dunning effect. You know what that is, right?
No, what is that? Is that from Blade
It's this
Runner?
bell curve of like when you feel of your actual proficiency in a topic and how confident you are that you know everything on the topic. So it starts really low, like, because you're like, I don't know anything about this. But as soon as you learn a little bit about it, you become like, I know everything. And then as you learn more, you're like, oh, there is so much I still need to perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's that bravado when you, that's what I told people. If I had the confidence, the unearned confidence of Jennifer Lopez, I could take over the fucking world. I could take over the fucking world. This bitch can't sing. She can't act. She's crazy. But she's like, I'm the best. And everyone's like, okay, you're pretty. I'm telling you, I could take over the goddamn world. Was that too mean? I actually wrote I made fun of J-Lo in my vows. Why am I shitting on J-Lo? In my wedding vows, I made fun of J-Lo.
It's the moment. It's the moment. That's what we do.
I'm married, by the way.
Oh, my God, congratulations.
Welcome
to
Thank you. So now when I refer to Joe, I can just say my husband. And I'm not lying.
Jennifer Lopez sure did sit on that gym bench in that documentary, look at her like messed up hair and go, man, last time my hair was like this. And I was like, here comes the fucking block. It was when I was wilding out on the block.
I'm recording, Joe. Sorry.
Last time my hair looked like this was back in the Bronx. Oh God, girl, enough.
That whole documentary was literally like I think they have that now, and people becoming going into psychology of like, so here's narcissism. But I think the reason Cyclops is doing like this, I think it's because Jean's gone. And I think Emma's gone. I think Emma's gone and Jean's gone because let's be honest.
So he's horny.
When is the last time Scott has led a team without a girl by his side?
I can't think of it because Emma's
I
been
don't
by
think
his
he
side
has
since Morrison.
Because it's either Emma or it's Jean. And I think they are the people psychically making him calm down.
Grounding
and he doesn't
him.
have it anymore.
Yeah.
I think if it was revealed that basically he has always had this and Jean or Emma kind of mentally calmed him down.
Swage him.
I would love that.
You know what I would love? Okay, let's keep going down this rabbit hole. So who is on the team that might be able to provide these services moving forward?
Well, I mean, clearly Psylocke is there.
Right? And remember back in the day.
Remember X-Men, the first X-Men? And this is X-Men. But technically, I was about to say, technically that was canon.
Right.
But now it is canon.
Right.
Ah! Oh, so they secretly want to fuck. Oh my God, that's Cyclops. But then we can't have him have another affair.
Why not?
If that were to work, Jean Grey needs to break up with him, and then we can do it. We can't have him do it while he's still with her. Are they married?
Yeah. I don't know. He says, my wife,
I guess we can't.
Wife.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, we can't do that. I am 100% for them breaking up.
I always want them to break up.
Yeah. Let them win it back. He can't handle her power. You're supposed to be there to take care of me. And she's like, girl, I'm taking care of the universe. Grow up, you big baby. I want a divorce.
Dun, dun, dun. And then she rewrites reality.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on to,
the other Psylocke.
The other Psylocke. X-Force. What is she called now? Is she still Captain Britain?
Captain Britain. That's what she's in the little box when they show the characters. It says Captain Britain. X-Force. Right now, this is like baddie of the week. We need to, because we got a sphere with an algorithm that says this thing could be a world-ending problem, and we have to nip it in the bud before it gets out of hand. And this time they're going to Wakanda.
This time they're going to Wakanda. The cover says X-Force versus Black Panther, ? Turns out no.
No.
It is
No
not
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Black Panther, where is he? Why does he not know this is happening? Literally.
He's with the Avengers, with Storm.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Ooh, uh-oh.
Ooh.
And that
Oh.
is brought up in the comic where they're like, oh, aren't you the ex of the former queen? And he's like, yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Forge. That's right. The fact that both Forge and Black Panther have partaken in the earthly delight that is Storm.
Ooh, you cannot call her Earthly Delight.
Why? What is that bad?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Earthly Delight?
You can't call Storm anything because it puts her in a box. She is Storm. She is nothing but Storm.
Well, they were in her box.
Oh, true.
Basically, this is turning into just baddie of the week. So they have to solve something. But this one, it looks like there's a magical drum and some Wakandan. Is he a Wakandan?
Yeah.
Is he a person that's been in the comics before? Maybe.
Oh,
I don't
girl,
know.
we do not know Wakanda lore.
I
We do
don't
not know.
But anyway, it basically reverts you to like an ancient version of yourself. It's like magic.
Yes.
And I think because Captain Britain is from Otherworld, she saw it happening, but then she couldn't stop it from overtaking her. And so everyone becomes these kind of like mythical, ancient, Celtic.
Tribal versions.
It's like a tribe. That's it, a tribal version.
Yeah.
So tribal version of themselves. And the only people that aren't affected are Forge and Sage. And I think Sage was saying it's because her brain is like a computer that it doesn't work.
And especially her goggles too, because her goggles are transforming the magic into data, and since she sees it as data and not magic, it's not affecting her.
Yeah, and so she ends up, and basically this magical spell is increasing, and it's going to like envelop the entire world.
Yes.
So that's why they have to stop it.
So that's the world-changing event that they're trying to stop.
And then she puts the goggles on Surge. And can we talk about Surge for a second, where it was just like, are you sure you're going to be part? You sure you want to be part of this? And Forge knows, he's seen a vision where she has to be a part of this.
Yes.
But the other people are like, are you sure you want to do this? She's like, no, yeah, because, I just want to get out there and like help people. I want people to know that I'm helping them. And they're like, this is a private, like this is Black Ops. No one's going to know. And she's like, oh, well, it's like still for good, right? And they're like, sure.
I did love that point where it's like, she's like, I want people to see me doing good. It's like, okay, you're on a Black Ops team. No one's going to see shit.
I think she's just happy to be wanted because she was being set up in New X-Men. She was set up as the leader. She was set up as like, you're a future major player. And she never was because people didn't know what to do with her powers.
I like that characters like Surge, and then in the next book, we'll talk about Hellion, are now being at the forefront because she, like Hellion, was someone else who I just did not see during Krakoa.
This is for me that it started as the New Mutants, and then it took over from New X-Men after Grant Morrison's run ended.
Yeah.
That whole plot line with Wallflower and Wind Rider and Hellion and Mercury and Anole, I love that whole run. Was great until then it became the one with Ink. Remember where they tried to reset it with Ink, and that one was terrible.
Yeah.
But Pixie, that was so good. And so I love those characters, and I'm glad that they're coming back. This one, is there? But then I feel like they kind of stopped it, and then it was like, okay, on to the next thing. Is there anything?
On to the next one. Yeah, they got the drum out of the guy's hand. He transferred back into his normal self, and he was done. There's a line that keeps being repeated in this book. At the beginning, it was said in the opening of X-Force 1. It's said again in X-Force 2, and I don't get it. It's the opening lines in Sage's narration. In the picosecond after she dies, I'm thinking. That is also how X-Force 1 opens, in the picosecond after she dies.
But when those things, that was them, but wasn't that them talking about when they were running the scenarios? When Forge was like running all the different scenarios in his head, like with that, because what was he using to run all the different scenarios of like what would happen to the X-Men?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I thought that
I was
Sage
curious
narrating.
if it was like, yeah, that was Sage narrating that. So I thought he was talking about something that happened in that scenario, but if it was Sage narrating it, then she's talking about something that has happened, that's going to happen? Or is this a future Sage talking?
The opening line in X-Force #1 is, 1 picosecond after she dies, I'm thinking. Of course I am. I'm always thinking. I remember the first time we met, I wasn't Sage then. And then X-Force 2, in the picosecond after she dies, I'm thinking. Who's the she that's dying?
Well, it looked like that Vision is that Surge is a very important player in this book. Maybe she dies and has to sacrifice herself.
It's weird.
I don't know. I guess
It's
we'll
losing me.
find out. Let's move on.
NYX.
To NYX.
NYX.
My favorite makeup brand that you can find at Walgreens. NYX. So it looks like, I kind of want this team to get together, but it looks like, no, we're going to kind of focus on each member. So last issue was Kamala. She's Kamala. Am I correct?
Kamala.
Okay. So it's
She's not
Kamala
Kamala.
Harris and Kamala Khan. Right?
Kamala Harris. Kamala Khan.
And Kamala Khan. Okay, I got it right. Yay. It was Kamala last time. Now it's Wolverine. It looked like next issue will be a Nole. So it looks like they're kind of working their way through. But I
love
want
it.
this team to get together.
They will. The payoff will be great. After
It's
they
a
take
little
this
too
approach.
separate for me right now.
Okay.
But I still like it. Like this was like so much focused on Wolverine that I was like really wanting, you know, the Cuckoos and Hellion and Kamala and like
Yeah.
I wanted more of it.
I will say this. It feels like living in New York where you know your friends are here, but you never see them.
Yeah.
It's too big.
And so it looks like we're juggling multiple baddies. So I thought that the Mr. Friend thing would be connected to the Quiet Council.
Nope.
No.
Separate.
Mr. Friend turns out to be Mojo Jojo. No, not Mojo Jojo, just Mojo.
Yay, Mojo. We love, and a scarier Mojo, a more
As a
powerful
scarier Mojo, I like this Mojo. I also like that he's just there kind of as a bad guy rather than like coming to my TV show. Like I kind of because I think they have to. They've been working on how do we rebrand him now that kids don't watch TV anymore.
Yeah, right.
But basically, Wolverine kind of goes. Well, she doesn't really go undercover because they know she's Wolverine, right?
No, they say, you know, my people think you're Wolverine, right? And she goes, huh, that'd be insane. My name is Scratch.
Yeah, but it's also like, but Mojo totally knew it was Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that's funny with this is she's kind of like bad at like strategy.
Yes, correct.
Like, and I will say this, she's a clone of Wolverine. Wolverine's not that great at strategy either.
Right.
Like she's good in the fight. Like in the fight, let's go. But I think it is kind of showing how she's like, I don't want anybody's help. And Kamala's like, hey girl, what's up? We're here. And she's like, get out of here. And she's like, no, but like, I need some help and I want some. And she's like, leave me alone. Like,
well, I like
she's
this. Just like they're building up the need for them to truly be a team.
Yeah. And I think this kind of basically was establishing, girl, you need a team. Like you can't
need a
do
team
this yourself.
because you're getting your ass kicked by Mojo.
Yeah, basically he stabbed her, ripped off her skin, and like threw her out a window.
Stabbed her, ripped off her skin, threw out a window, called her fat.
Said you'll never be glamour.
Speaking of fat, do we love that Memo Max is the bouncer outside of Mr. Friend's club?
Who?
Oh, girl.
Who is that?
Memo Max, the elephant.
Wait, what else was he in?
A lot of stuff. It's Memo Max.
Is he
Get
a
into it.
mutant?
Yeah.
I don't remember him.
Okay.
I don't. Wait, who is he? Is the guy? Wait, who is he again?
He's the elephant in the trench
No,
coat.
no. I know that. I'm saying who was he in other things
He's
previously?
Max. I
When
don't
was
know.
he in another thing of the X-Men?
I don't know. X-Men.
You're making this up.
He was in when was the stupid like dupe and like when did Juggernaut kill that fish kid or like Black Tom killed that fish kid? It was around there.
Oh, so like Wolverine in the X-Men era?
Where like you found out there was a second Zorn and like Polaris was that
right.
horrible
Oh,
period.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I blacked all that out. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And this local guy,
What's his power?
He's basically just GPS.
He's GPS,
but
He
also
can
a
bring up maps?
technopath. Like he makes a map, but he could also like turn off like the subway system or
I
turn things
need that
on.
guy as a friend because no one knows what the subway's doing on a weekend. And
You
that's
take
real.
the
That's
subway.
real
You don't take
NYX.
cabs. No, I'm just kidding.
I did. I took a cab home from the Eagle last night. We think.
You think? Oh, you don't remember? You don't remember? You.
No, I do.
I was about to be disgusting. You're like, what did I go last night? And then you went to the bathroom, and then you're like, oh, I was at the Eagle. Basically, is this local guy, is he a good guy or a bad guy?
I think he means well, but you know, he's just trying to have a good time. You know, he's young. It's New York.
Why are these kids working for Mojo? Why are they willing to work for them? Is it because they was it looks like he wants to like, isn't he trying to do a new isn't he doing like a new what's the mutant drug?
Kick.
Kick?
Mutant growth hormone.
Is that what he's like after?
Yeah.
Maybe is that what they're after?
Well, I mean, they're after a fix. I think these are just they're kids on the streets. Like they're going to look for any sort of community, anyone who tells them they'll take care of them. That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's hard out there.
It is. But in the end, you know what? Just want to dance.
In the end, we just want to dance, and that's NYX. In the end, we just want to dance.
I'll be dancing on my own. NYX. Have you been reading some of the speaking of this, I was reading the thing of like we need to bring back how Spider-Man was from New York. We want to bring back the New York. And you're like, "Okay, girl, calm down."
What are you talking about? What is this on? Who's saying
At the end of NYX, like the writer like wrote a whole paragraph about New York at the end of the comic book.
Yeah, New York this book up. Like I live here, I would enjoy that. It's a special place. It is always a character in the things that it's in.
Which is why I'm saying the next issue is about Anole. I want him in a back room at the Eagle or somewhere where he sticks his dick in a glory hole.
Gets cut off.
It gets cut off and then it grows back even bigger.
It grows back even bigger.
But now it has spikes on it, and they can't get it out of the glory hole because it has spikes on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
see
that's the
that now that's New York.
That's New York, girl.
But then the other thing is I was reading some of the letters to the editor for the X-Men. And I was like, oh, they didn't have a lot. Because someone was like, your costumes for Magic and Juggernaut are awful and you need to change them. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, girl. I was like,
I will never forget. I went to a con once with some friends. I think it was New York Comic Con and or C2E2. And this guy, it was a Q&A. It was an X-Men writers panel. Q&A, guy stands up and he goes, I think this was during, I forget when. He goes, when is Kitty's hair going to be long again? I think I speak for everybody when I say we don't like Kitty with short hair. And everybody just went, ooh. Like, it was such a faux pas. And like, you just saw the panel just be like, I don't know why.
When are we going to de-age her to
everyone
14?
so much.
Can we make her young again? Because I don't want to fuck her. I love they're like, I don't want to fuck her
I don't wanna
anymore.
fuck
Can
her.
you fix it?
Hi, listen. Because
Although-
basically, I don't want to fuck her now. Is every
Because she
question
had
at
short
Comic-Con.
hair in X-Men Gold, And that's the thing
think
you're
that's
going to
when.
complain about? That's the
Oh,
thing you're going to
hello.
complain about. There is a billion other things to complain about. X-Men Gold was garbage. Oh, we moved Xavier's Mansion to Central Park. That's not New York. That's not New York. I'll say that.
Nobody goes to Central Park in this city.
How close are you near Central Park?
Girl, I'm on Central Park.
You're
Like,
on
I'm
Central
it.
Park. Okay,
Yeah.
right. I couldn't remember if you were like north of it.
I'm 4 blocks north of the north border.
Okay. Let's move on.
The Marvel
And
85th
we're only
anniversary special.
talking about one
Only
thing because the
talking
rest
about
of it
one
was
story.
the rest of it was stupid.
Because it was what a treat. So Marvel, happy 85th birthday. Yeah. What a treat. Alan Davis writing a classic Excalibur book, story, arc, moment.
How old is Alan Davis?
I think he's 84.
Because I was so joyous reading and watching this and seeing that he wrote and drew it. However, the drawing is
Bitch
not
can't
at
draw
the
no more.
level. It's not at the level. And I'm not going to like bitch be like, how dare you? But he's older and it's like saddens me that he probably is unable to draw at the level he used to. And it just hurts my heart. But it's still there. It's still there. But there's
It's still there.
definitely, it's a bit shakier.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll blame it that Paul Neary, rest in peace, his inker.
Yeah.
It was the one
Which
that
I
was
do think
really
has a lot to do with it. Yeah.
yes. But seeing like that literally could have been a whole issue from that time.
It was
So this is
authentic.
Excalibur. For those of you not in the know, Excalibur was one of our favorite X books. It's the London X-Men, basically the British X-Men, and it's Kitty Pryde, Nightcrawler, Megan, Captain Britain, Betsy's brother, and Phoenix, Rachel Summers Phoenix. And they were in the lighthouse that was the cross section of Otherworld, that where all of the different dimensions met. And so they were always doing cross time capers. And it was just great. And you even saw and this character wasn't even, you saw Captain UK, and Captain UK from the Captain Britain Corps. That was like from the old Captain Britain comics. She wasn't even really a character that much in Excalibur.
No.
This was just literally like written for my 10-year-old soul. And I loved it.
Alan Davis didn't miss a beat in terms of capturing this team's very unique dynamic. And I brought this up to you before we started recording, how reading this story made me realize what I loved about the original book was the team's chemistry. For some reason, Captain Britain, Megan, Nightcrawler, Phoenix, and Shadowcat work as a team. Like, they just work. Why is it that you put these 5 characters together?
The thing that you have is that Rachel's Phoenix, she was the wild card. She was always going off. She was so super powerful, but she was also sexy and slutty and kind of being like, Captain Britain thinks he's the leader, but he's an alcoholic. And so Nightcrawler is really the leader. So there's also this thing that we're going to let him think he's the leader, but he's not. So there's that tension. Nightcrawler also is attracted to Megan. So there's extra tension with that. Megan is also the fish out of water. So she's like us, seeing everything for the first time. Like, what is this? I don't understand. And then Kitty is like the everyman.
It's also a very unique moment for Kitty in that this was a transitional Kitty. Like, this was the Kitty of old becoming today's Kitty.
Yes.
This was little Kitty, on her way to eventually become Kate.
Yes. I think because also this was when she got into Excalibur, it's because she had lost all of her ability to solidify. She was always phased, and she had to concentrate to be solid, which means pooping and eating must have been a total bitch.
Oh, don't even get me started.
But anyway, that it was just like each character was so fully fleshed out. And the thing that was great with Chris Claremont and then Alan Davis when he took over writing it is it was the perfect balance of relationships and action. And the relationships then fed into the action because how they worked as a team fed into how they were getting along with each other at the time. And when it all came to a conclusion, the main plot lines in episode 50 or 49, 50, when it was leading to Necrom, when they fought Necrom, there's even a part where they all had to merge together.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, you know what? I just realized, what's the thing called in Krakoa when two people use their powers together?
Chimera. Oh,
It was
circuit.
like in circuits. This was the first time of that because basically it was like Kitty had the power of phasing. Rachel could keep all their minds together. Captain Britain held it together. Megan was a shapeshifter, so she could morph the body to what it needed to be. And then Nightcrawler, his teleportation powers could guide them. It was like so fucking smart of like, oh, all their powers actually together made them into a Voltron character.
Yeah.
Anyway, Marvel's 85th anniversary brought back Excalibur, and I was great. And the best part is Captain UK. She was like, "Oh, you're Shadowcat? In my world, you're called Flamingo."
So funny.
And then Kitty just keeps going for the next panels, Flamingo. And I love that it's because she had so many stupid names. Sprite, Ariel, of course she would have been Flamingo. That's so fucking hilarious.
I also love when Captain UK looks at Rachel and said, "I've never met your equivalent," holding true to that. There is no alternate version.
There's no
of
other
Rachel
alternate
Summers.
version of Rachel, which was from the House of M. Great. The rest of this comic was, I couldn't give two shits
You know
about.
what? I'm looking at it now. I think we were unfair in terms of Alan Davis's penciling ability. Like, it's pretty great. There's a few panels where it looks sketchy.
No,
but
it's great. No, literally, if I had never seen his drawings before, I'd be like, this is amazing. It's just that literally but if you hold it up to I'm telling you right now, he's still in my top. He's in my top 3 best pencilers of all time. Like the expressions, the bodies.
100%.
His one flaw is that everybody had 60s mod clothing.
Yeah.
But read it. It's amazing. But I think we have something non-Marvel to talk about.
We have a new segment to talk about. We have another comic book to talk about, and it's birthed a new segment.
Okay, here we go.
Reading Rainbow. What you reading? Is it porn? Oh, no, it's comics. That makes sense because of the show.
Have we played that yet?
I don't know. Maybe not.
We should coordinate on like what we're calling these segments. I love that. Like, they have two
Well,
different
no,
names.
but this is what this is what we're reading. That's not Marvel. That's
That's right.
Or not
and this
X-Men.
one is specific to gay, like a very gay-oriented, queer-oriented comic, which honestly we should be doing more of. That comic turned me gay.
That comic turned me gay because if you read comics, that makes you queer. And it's good old Steve Orlando.
Yes. So for Vault Comics, Steve Orlando, along with the artist Giappota, have created a book called Sainted Love. This is a collection of 3 individual issues. I'm not clear when this came out. Are you?
The third issue just came out this week.
Okay.
So
Amazing.
it probably was like 3 months ago.
Amazing.
Because it's probably coming out once a month.
So I've read the first 3 issues. Have
Me
you?
too.
Yes. And so this is the story of Mac, who is an inventor in the year 1907. He's a little Tony Starkish, a little bit, but very gay.
Yes.
He is secretly with a boxer, a pugilist named John,
Yes.
also from 1907.
And it looks like John, they're lovers and they love each other, but John might be bisexual.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. And his boyfriend, wait, what's the Tony Stark's guy's name again?
Mac.
Mac does not like that.
Does not care.
Biphobia. And so they get into a fight, but then they end up getting attacked by this cop who's part of this secret order to destroy all gay people.
Yeah. Very J.D. Vance, I might add. Very like,
I know,
you don't
I know.
bear children, therefore you must be destroyed.
I know,
Okay,
but it's so
JD.
funny because gay people just will keep on coming up no matter what you do. It's not like, oh, I can
Right,
get
I
rid
know,
of this
right?
whole thing.
It's not like
You're
we're
going to keep
birthing
on
other
popping
gays.
up. But I love how that's their main thing is like, we need to stop the gays. What are the gays doing?
I love it.
And they end up jumping through a time machine. But because they don't jump through at the same time, even though it's like minutes apart, Mac ends up in the 1950s and his lover doesn't show up till a year later. But Mac ends up going to the 1950s and he's like, oh, wow, I'm in Hollywood. There's tons of faggots here.
Yeah.
Oh, also, we say this comic, they have sex. They show wieners, but only flaccid. And I find this weird. At this point, if you're showing people eating ass and you're showing a dick, is there some law that in America where you can't show be a boner?
There are blowjobs. There are no erect penises.
There's no erect penises. But you see plenty of like fat, flaccid penises.
Yeah.
I find that, you know how I feel about flaccid penises. They don't belong in this world. I wish they were hard all the time.
No, they should be hard all the time. Turgid or nothing.
That is how I feel about strippers.
Yeah.
If you were a stripper and you don't have a big
You're
old
not
anyway,
shot up
okay.
on Viagra.
Yes. Caberject. Okay. Anyway, so then, but when he went to the 50s, Mac made like kind of like a negative zone.
It's incredible.
Gay
So
sex
Mac
club
is able to create the Hotel Oasis, which is like a speakeasy hotel.
Yeah.
But the reason people can't find it is because it exists 1 second in the past. And you need a special attuned to your own DNA key to get in. It exists. You access it through the back of a shoe repair shop.
Yeah.
And inside, the world is your oyster. If you're a
And
gay,
anyway, so
hairy
then
man.
the boxer, what's the boxer's name? I can't remember
John.
their names. John shows up. They finally meet. He sees him. He's like, where's my partner? Oh, there he is getting blown by a guy. Oh, honey, let's have sex now. And so then they're having sex. And this is where things start to throw me. The problem is, because I thought it was like, I don't want you to be with anyone else because we're from 1907 and I believe in monogamy. No. It is literally like you can fuck and get fucked by as many guys as you want.
Guys.
Don't you dare touch a pussy.
Don't touch a pussy.
But here's the other thing that is weird, is he has this weird thing, but then they show him having sex with a trans man.
Oh, really?
In the orgy. Yeah, there's one where
yeah.
you see the scars. So then I'm just like, I was just confused of his phobia of the binary.
Yeah. I think that's an oversight.
But basically, I also, just for me, it's like, I do find it very strange to be like, where he feels, in a weird way, he's like, you can fuck as many guys as you want because you're gay, but I don't want you to fuck a woman because then you might become straight
You might
and
leave me for
me.
a woman. Yeah.
That seems crazy. I don't get that logic.
Welcome to biphobia. It's not
At
rational.
No, but I mean, especially as someone who worked in gay porn, these straight actors, most of them worked in gay porn because their wives were like, I'd rather you fuck a dude
Yeah.
than a woman because you're probably not going to leave me for the woman because you're straight. I mean, you're not going to
However,
leave
if
me
you
for the
flip
man
it-
because you're straight. Yeah. Yeah. So it's the flip of that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
and
eventually,
so then they then
leave
go
the 50s.
They leave the 50s, and I thought they were going to go back to like the 70s.
I
thought
was
they were
hoping
gonna,
for like the 90s. Yeah.
and then they went into the 300s to like ancient Rome, and I
Yeah.
just didn't want them to do that. So I was kind of like, all right. Ugh. And I will
know,
say
but
that
if this is a long-term-
Steve Orlando is getting a little wordy. It's either like sex scenes or a lot of explanation. And I kind of I think he can be a little more concise
Yeah. Live in the moment.
with his, Because a lot of it is like, here's 20 bubbles of me talking about a scientific process. And I'm like,
And now here's
I don't care.
fucking.
You're time traveling. I get it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Go back to fighting about biphobia. That's where I find that more
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, they
And
do
of
bump
course
into
they
these
end
two soldiers.
I guess it's established. Is that like a real thing? Are they like real?
like gay saints. They
Gay
do call
saints, is
these
that-
characters gay saints. I forget their names, but I would like to look up if like these are actual historical.
Yeah, these like
figures.
Roman soldiers, and then they start having an orgy with the Roman soldiers, but then they go back and then they go to this other place in Rome, and then the bad guys are there. But the bad guys, I was also very confused with, I guess Mac just spoke ancient Latin.
Yes, he does.
And but then it seemed like the bad guys knew that they were from the future. So then it brings into question whether this evil anti-gay sect also is time traveling.
Or are they just a generational cult?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm in. I'm invested in this story. I'm invested in this couple.
And I do love the idea that here we have a comic that's all about gays fucking.
And
That's
it's also
fun.
about gays having to exist in different periods of time, which is
Yes.
interesting.
And also they're daddy gays. These are
They're
dad
very daddy gays.
gays. They're beefy with bellies.
Hairy,
Hairy,
bellies.
beefy with bellies. It's hot. It's hot.
One of
It's
my
not your typical superhero comic book bodies.
right. One of my favorite panels is when John literally falls out of the sky, and he somehow lands in a homosexual pool party.
Yeah, he's like at Rock Hudson's pool party.
He's literally at Rock Hudson's pool party in the 1950s when he lands. And it's one of my favorite panels ever where there's just these two gays lounging by a pool. And then he falls. His name is John Wolfe. And he calls himself a lost wolf. And then there's just this panel of these two gays sipping martinis in chaise lounges. One goes, "That's no wolf." And the other goes, "That's a man." And I'm like, I just love this dandy fucking humor that is pervading this book.
What's the language, the gay language in Britain?
Oh yeah, like Danny the Street.
Yeah, but it's called something.
Yeah, like the avocava bava. It's called
Avada Kedavra.
Polari.
Polari. Parsec.
Parsec.
I know it began with
Star
a
Wars.
P. So it's fun. It's fun. I wish it's a little wordy, but then it's followed by tons of hot bear sex.
Yeah, tons of just bear sex.
So you know me.
dialogue.
I mean, that's what look with 4 minutes. Where you're like, where's this plot going? Oh, they're having sex. I don't care.
And that's the kind of with this book. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like 4 minutes better than this. I will say this. If I have to compare gay things.
Time travelers, gay time traveling
Gay
adventurers.
time
Yeah.
traveling. I like 4 minutes better.
I love it. Well, anyway, you should still check out Sainted Love. We recommend.
Yes, we recommend it. Is that? Oh no, that's
it. We
everything.
did
That's
that.
everything.
That's the show.
That's the show. We did it. Wow. That's a lot of fucking comics. A lot of fucking comics.
A lot of fucking comics. Mephisto is on his way. If you learn nothing else from this show,
Mephisto.
is that Mephisto?
Mephisto. That sounds perverted.
I know, right?
That sounds
Mephisto.
perverted. I was at I felt, did you ever feel like when I was at a gay birthday party recently,
Yeah.
a few days ago, and I felt like I was disgusting. I feel like no matter what topic was brought up, I somehow was like, oh, that reminds me of this person that got fisted the other day.
Yeah.
And I realized my humor is so fucking disgusting and perverted because I am a dirty, dirty faggot.
And I think
And
that's
do you
why
know
people
why?
tune into this show. Yeah.
Do you know why I'm a dirty faggot?
Why?
Because I read comics. Because if you read comics, take it home, Brett.
Well, then that makes you queer.
Queer.
Bye.
Bye.